Top 10 World Leaders. Number 10. Augustus Caesar. His pen names are Imperator Caesar Divi Filius Augustus, Octavian, and Gaius Octavius Uranus. Born on 23 September 63 BC at Rome, Roman Republic. Died on August 19, 14 AD, at Nola, Italy. He was adopted by his great-uncle Julius Caesar. Augustus was the founder of the Roman Empire. He became the first emperor of Roman Empire from 16 January 27 BC to 19th of August AD 14 and reigned for almost 40 years. In 27 BCE, the Senate awarded him the honorific Augustus or the Illustrious One. The era of Augustus' reign was a golden age in every respect. Octavian was now the supreme ruler of Rome and all his territories, but, in order to keep from making the same mistake his adoptive father had of seeming to covet power, Octavian was careful to characterize all of his political strategies as being for the good of the Republic of Rome. Number 9. Nebuchadnezzar II. Born on 634 BC, at Babylon. Died on 562 BC, at Babylon. Known as the greatest king of Babylon. Was a Chaldean king of the Neo-Babylonian Empire, who reigned from 605 BC to 562 BC. Both the construction of the Hanging Gardens of Babylon and the destruction of Jerusalem's temple are ascribed to him. Nebuchadnezzar II defeated the Egyptians and their allies the Assyrians at Carchemish, subdued Palestine and the region of Syria and, consolidating his power, controlled all the trade routes across Mesopotamia from the Persian Gulf to the Mediterranean Sea. Nebuchadnezzar II made the most of the time, employing a vast army of slave labor to surround his city with walls so thick that chariot races were conducted around the tops and which stretched 56 miles in length, encircling an area of 200 square miles. The bricks of the walls were faced with a bright blue and bore the inscription, "I am Nebuchadnezzar, King of Babylon." Number 8. Abraham Lincoln. Born on February 12, 1809, at Hogganville, Kentucky, United States. He was the 16th President of United States, serving from March 1861 until his assassination in April 1865. Abraham Lincoln was first elected president on November of 1860. During this time he led the country through the bloodiest battles called the Battle at Gettysburg. He led the U.S. in the Civil War to help free the slaves. He argued about the spread of slavery in a series of 7 debates called the Lincoln-Douglas debates. They were held in 7 different towns in Illinois, including Charleston. He was known in his quote, "Nearly all men can stand adversity, but if you want to test a man's character, give him power." Number 7. Napoleon Bonaparte. Born on August 15, 1769, at Ajaccio, France. Died on May 5, 1821, at Longwood, St. Helena, Ascension and Tristan da Cunha. He was a French military and political leader who rose to prominence during the French Revolution and led several successful campaigns during the Revolutionary Wars. The terrible French economy was one of the key factors leading to the French Revolution. When Napoleon came to power, he turned it around in only a year. The Catholic Church had dominated French society, but the French Revolution tossed it out on its ear. Napoleon reached an agreement with the Pope allowing the Church a major role in French society while providing religious freedom for all others. He also abolished slavery and freed the serfs, and today he is seen as a progressive force in European history. Number 6. Andrés Bonifacio. Andrés Bonifacio y de Castro, father of the Philippine Revolution. Born on November 30, 1863, at Tondo. Died on May 10, 1897, at Maragondon. One of the most influential national heroes of his country. He was a Filipino revolutionary leader and one of the main leaders of the Philippine Revolution against Spanish colonial rule in the late 19th century. A Freemason, Bonifacio was the leading founder of the Katipunan organization which aimed to start an independence movement against Spain. Number 5. Martin Luther King Jr. Born on January 15, 1929, at Atlanta, Georgia, United States. Died on April 4, 1968, at Memphis, Tennessee, United States. He was a leader in the African American civil rights movement and his entire civil rights movement in the 1960s that called for working out conflicts with kindness and love as opposed to hate and violence. He was an American Baptist minister, activist and humanitarian. Martin Luther King Jr. led the bus boycott in 1955 that was sparked by Rosa Parks. He fought for and achieved mandatory equal voting rights in America for blacks and whites. He helped form the Southern Christian Leadership Conference in 1957, which was an organization that worked for civil rights. He was known in his quote, "Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase." Number 4. José Rizal. José Protásio Rizal Mercado y Alonso Realanda. Born on June 19, 1861, at Calamba, Laguna. Died on December 30, 1896, at Rizal Park, Manila. An ophthalmologist. Though he was not actively involved in its planning or conduct, he ultimately approved of its goals, which eventually led to Philippine independence. He is widely considered one of the greatest heroes of the Philippines, and is implied by Philippine law to be one of the national heroes. He was an ilustrado during the Spanish era. The author of famous books Nalay Tangier and El Filibusterismo. Number 3. Alexander the Great, or Alexander III. Born on July 356 BC, at Bela. Died on June 323 BC, at Babylon. Alexander III of Macedon, commonly known as Alexander the Great, was a king of the ancient Greek kingdom of Macedon and a member of the Argead dynasty, an ancient Greek royal house. He was one of the greatest military geniuses of all times. He was the inspiration of all the later rulers. As a leader, he was open all sorts of hazards and dangers during his campaigns. This was a great inspiration for his men. He was personally involved in various projects and proved to be a worthy leader. He had also overthrown the Persian Empire by defeating the Persian king, Darius III. He was known in his quote, "There is nothing impossible to him who will try." Number 2. Nelson Mandela. Born on July 18, 1918, at Mvezo, South Africa. Died on December 5, 2013, at Houghton Estate, Johannesburg, South Africa. Past President of South Africa from 1994 to 1999. He was a South African anti-apartheid revolutionary, politician, and philanthropist. With no fear in his heart, Mandela stood up to those who sought to oppress others. He was willing to give up his own life for the principles of democracy. He showed everyone the incredible strength of the human spirit. He was known in his quote, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." Number 1. Mahatma Gandhi. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. Born on October 2, 1869, at Porbandar, India. The preeminent leader of the Indian independence movement in British-ruled India. The largest of his contributions was the Indian independence. Indians are still respected more than what they had before, and they are still independent. His movements and famous quotes still inspire equality and justice in the world today. Another massive contribution that remains today is from his nonviolence tactics. He showed us that you can achieve your goals in life without violence, and that violence is never the answer. These things inspire millions today, and I know this because they inspired me. He was known in his quote, "The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong." Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like and comment as well.